Hey, good morning everybody. This is Flight Sim Jammer. I had a request to do a quick flight from one of my subscribers, and I figured why not? I will use the built-in ATC instead of the live ATC, but we are flying from 4S9, which is Malino, Oregon, to KPDX. And it's probably not going to be a perfect flight, but we will get there in one piece and be able to touch down safely. Alright, second here. Get all the switches and controls going. And we're good there. Turn on the lights. There we go. Get some panel lighting going. Because we are flying VFR. This is our transponder. We are going to set it to squawk 1200, which allows ATC to know that I'm flying VFR, although they'll probably ask me to do a different one.
For Sierra Niner, traffic Cessna November 1767 Bravo is taxiing to runway 14.
Right. Hopefully you can hear that. I've got that playing through my headphones. Actually, let's fix that real quick because I don't think it's going to do that. Let's go there. Now the ATC sound should be coming through. I don't like driving through this guy, but we really don't have a choice in the matter. Bear with me just 1 second. I am opening up the airport diagram. That way when ATC tells me where to go, we'll know where to travel to. Okay, that's what I thought. That's there. Alright. The light sure dimmed down quite a bit there on that gauge. It's radio. Okay, it goes all the way up. Just the way shadows are working today. Okay, here we go. We are gonna taxi. Like I was saying, I don't like to drive through this guy, but they put him so close that you don't really have a choice. And at that point, there's not that much room to back up or to have him push you backwards. Okay, which wheels are on here? Looks like some pretty nice weather here today. Drive out onto the actual runway. Let's get out here on the taxiway. Let's throw another screen up real quick. Let's go in here. Eventually I'll learn to have all this set up before we get on here, and I do apologize about that. Listen to the weather report. 118. Oh, you weren't supposed to fully stop the airplane. Alright, though. Okay, we're gonna listen to the weather report while we're going here. Alright.
Kilo Uniform Alpha Oscar Airport Information Uniform 1600 Zulu. Flight 187.
Already off of that there.
Kilo.
There you go. Wasn't wanting to work there. One. So, what we want to do with that information is 3026 is our altimeter. The weather plays a big role at what that should be set to. When I first started flying, I thought that my altimeter should always be set at 0, but the pressures from the weather actually change that level, and when you set it like this, it's set that way so everybody in the air, no matter where they're at, has the same, we're all on the same baseline, so we know where each other's at and we don't crash into each other. Alright, so this area that I'm stopped at is, you pull over to the side and it's called a run-up area. So on the Cessna that I'm flying, we want to kick the throttle up to, I've seen different things, but a lot of them say 1800, and you want to switch magneto off and watch it and make sure that it doesn't shut off, but it drops at least 50 RPMs. and then you give it a second, quickly switch to the other one, watch that. Obviously these ones haven't failed, so we're good to go there. The next thing you do is bring the throttle all the way back and make sure your plane doesn't die. And we are good there, running about 650, about 650 RPM. Try to taxi rate about 1,000. If you're under 1,000, you want to play with your mixture over here, and even when we're sitting like this, we should have it slightly a little lean so we don't follow the spark plugs. But here we go. So we take off the e-brake here. We can pull up to the whole short line. Make sure nobody's coming. I do have live traffic on. I don't know if we'll see anybody out here. Alright, we are holding short at runway 14. So 14, and we are going to depart north because we're heading to KPDX, which is the Portland International Airport. Alright, so even though that we've announced that we're leaving, we still look and make sure nobody's going to land on top of us here. This view seems to be easier to look. Alright. There was also other things in the run-up procedure there that I was supposed to do. Check my flaps and make sure my controls all work. At this stage, I don't have anything set to fail. It is something that I do need to keep in mind to do every time. I do hope to get the checklist for the 172. They make little checklist cards, and I do want to get that so I can follow the actual procedures. 59, rotate. Still getting used to this flight yoke here. Still works way better than it did. Throw the flaps up. If you keep an eye over here, it's kind of hard to see because it's a little small, but we will be following that magenta line to get to the Portland Airport. But when you take off from an airport, you have to stay in the pattern. It is, as long as you're going in how the pattern is going, you want to stay in it. If you are, like we said, we are departing north, and so a little off of north, but if you look over to your left there, there's the runway we just took off from. So, alright, here we go. Turn Portland approach, and normally if you're flying VFR you would go there, because hopefully we're close enough that we can just select the Portland Airport. I really wish that Microsoft would allow you just to type in where you want to go, because Like, see, it's not in there yet. Even though we're not that far from it, we should be in it. But
Southwest 319er, you are 14 miles south of Portland. Contact Portland Tower on 123.775 when inbound on the approach.
there's that's where we got our weather reading
Tower
from.
on 123.775 Southwest 319er.
There we go. Alright. To Portland. Gonna request a full
Portland
stop.
Tower says in November 1767 Bravo is 20 miles south with Alpha to land. Cessna November 1767 Bravo Portland Tower. Make left base runway 28 left. Altimeter 30.26 wind 19er 7
Alright, so the altimeter is the
Enter
same.
left base runway 28 left Cessna 67 Bravo.
Normally, flying for real, we would actually check the Portland ATIS. Although it should be pretty close to the one we were at. You never know. It's just better to check it. There's the, you look over in the left, the red and white flashing lights up there. That's probably the Southwest flight that he was just talking to. So we're gonna keep going a little more this way because I want to be able to. Let's see. We do that.
Horizon Air 209er 2, turn next
Okay,
taxiway.
a left white pattern. Although we might just have to
Horizon Air
straight on.
209er 2, contact ground on 121.9er.
I don't see it. My list says that there's a plane right to the right of us. But I do not see him.
For Horizon Air 209er 2.
So you can't really see it, but PDX is actually right in front of us. I'm gonna have to slow down here. And unless he tells us we're clear to land, we will go into that's okay.
Southwest 319er, cleared to land runway 28 left. Wind 19er 8 at 8. Cleared to land runway 28 left, Southwest 319er. Portland Tower, Horizon Air 213.512 miles southwest inbound ILS runway 28 left approach. Horizon Air 2135 Portland Tower. Cleared ILS runway 28 left approach. Altimeter 30.25 wind 19er 8 at 8.
Sorry about that. I was a little off of my path. Had to
Cleared ILS
look at my map and figure out where I was at.
Horizon Air 2135.
So you want to stay out of the clouds. The clouds hold moisture. Moisture forms ice on your wings, and obviously that is not a good thing. So yeah, I think I've flown far enough from there. I was trying to get over far enough that when I turn on my final, I can actually just fly right into the airport instead of having to go around. There was a add-on scenery pack for Portland Airport that I purchased. The original one looked great, but the add-on pack, it makes it look just like if we were to go there. Still getting on the way there. Okay. Straight in front of us, we should eventually see lights, which will be the Troutdale Airport. I'm trying to keep it. Let's try to keep it right there. Right through those hills. Troutdale Airport is right on the other side of that big hill in front of us. We are gonna go this way so we don't have to climb too much higher to get above that. But this kind of shows you how good the graphics are. If you look down, jump out of the plane real quick. If you look down, you can actually see the cars driving on the road. The land plots are laid out how they should, and there's actually dimension to the hills. It's not just flat. It's not 2D. It's all 3D. This is a 2-8 left, which will be right there. Alright. So, Troutdale Airport. I'm not seeing, the light should be on, but it should be directly right in this area. But we are going to fly out this way just a little bit more. Oh, that's because it's over. My thing it shows. Maybe we're just not doing it. Caution generic landing on 28 right. Alright. He thinks that, well, we are pretty close. You see that over the hills there? Not yet. Hills are in the way.
Portland Tower left at 7114 miles. Southbound ILS runway 28 left approach. Alaska 721 Portland Tower. Cleared ILS runway 28 left approach. Altimeter 30.25.19 at 7.
The reason I came way over here is so we don't end up doing like I did in my other videos where I didn't have enough room. Actually, the airport is right there. Ah. Right over the side here. This is Troutdale Airport. Wait. The VFR map says that it's right in front of us, but that is obviously not an airport. Alright. That's the guy that we're supposed to watch out for, who's landing on 28 right. There's 28 left. Now there is a good chance that he asks us to go around. That happens. And that's usually if I don't get to the runway fast enough and there's a plane behind me and it's a big jet, it's harder for him to go around. In my opinion, anyway. So always seems like it could take so long to get there when you're this close. It's almost like being in a real plane when you're looking out and you recognize your town. And you're like, oh man, I'm almost home. It's almost that same feeling. Line up better. Normally, I don't think you would fly into PDX in a little plane like this. I don't think it's against the rules really, but there's so much traffic that comes in and out of KPDX. I think they'd have you looping a lot, especially when there's so many other little airports around. Hillsboro's right out the way, and we just flew over Troutdale, and we got here in like 15 minutes. So 20 minutes, you could totally fly to Aurora and land there.
Alaska 721 cleared to land runway 28 left. Follow the aircraft on final. Wind 19er at 7. Caution the generic landing runway 28 right. Cleared to land runway 28 left Alaska 721.
I couldn't find the look back key to add to the yoke. But normally we want to be going a lot slower. Go ahead and throw some flaps in. Should be a little bit lower. Hey, why is there somebody underneath me? So, yeah, they're gonna have us go around. Although we get to watch a big jumbo jet land.
Alaska 721, contact ground on 132.275.
he just hit the trees. So I don't think we're going around, because I think he crashed. So the all four means that all four red means I'm a little low. I'm going way too fast, but pull all the power out of it. Got a nice strong wind. We're going to hear the stall warning here in a second. Oh yeah, look at that. Set it down nicely. Oh, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to KPDX. Turn, here's this taxiway.
Cessna 67 Bravo exit runway when able. Cessna 67 Bravo contact ground on 121.9er.
Alright. So, contact ground.
121.9er Cessna 67 Bravo.
And then 121.9er. Taxi to gate.
Portland ground Cessna November 1767 Bravo taxi to the gate. Cessna November 1767 Bravo taxi to gate Alpha 6 using taxiway Charlie 6 Charlie Charlie 8 cross runway 28 left Bravo 8 Bravo Tango.
Apparently, our gate is on the other side.
Taxiing to gate Alpha 6 via taxiway Charlie 6 Charlie Charlie 8 cross runway 28 left Bravo 8 Bravo Tango Cessna 67 Bravo.
So you would normally write this stuff down. Thankfully, it saves it for us. Trying to open the taxiways here on my other monitor. We just landed at 28 left, which is right there. We're gonna go to A6, and we're using taxiway Charlie, which is what we're on now. Landed there, we're at Charlie 6. Okay. Okay, so we're just going down. We're gonna hit a B. Okay, cool. In there. Close this. Let's make sure. Well, that's not helpful, is it? We will taxi using that view because then we'll be able to actually see things. I was doing this one time and I totally almost ran into somebody because they weren't announcing where they were, and I couldn't see when I looked out to the side, and all of a sudden there was a plane in front of me and I had to slam on the brakes. So this is taxiway Charlie, because we turned, when we got off the runway we were on Charlie 6. Going as fast as I thought. That's what this throttle's a little hot. So these are supposed to have names on them. And this one is F because it goes to the side. So we want the next one, which is going to allow us to cross runway 28 left. That's there. try to follow the green. Hey, look at that. Hey, that's the guy that crashed. He must have came back, respawned and came back on. Okay, if you look, that says taxiway E, and it's pointing which directions, and yeah, he gets to go first. He's bigger. Oh, that's nice. Alright, so not totally sure that this is proper practices, but I went the wrong way. So this is just taxiway E. Normally you wouldn't do this, but I'm just gonna go ahead and turn around right here. Nobody behind us, and there we go. Alright. So I will try to set up the stream to be able to show everything on the monitor instead of just the game, and then I can bring up the taxi diagram. Actually, I can do this without running off the road. Throw this over here real quick. I apologize that it does that. If we make this big enough, I can still see where we're going. This is us. And that makes us look like we're this great big huge plane. Actually, what we're gonna do, we're gonna wrong button. There we go. Apologize about that. Okay, you can see us traveling here. This is the runway we came in on, and when we were here, I was supposed to turn left, and normally, like, for a, if we were doing live ATC, he would have came right on the comm and said, hey, you're going the wrong way, stop, and take the next exit. So what we are going to do, they want us to come down to Charlie 8, which is right here, and then cross this one runway to Bravo 8, and then up this way until, and then we'll pull over into here and find our gate. Now we are going fast. If you guys see that airspeed needle moving, it means I'm going too fast for the taxi lanes. Hey look, we're back where we started. Charlie 6. Still on the throttle. Really getting used to this yoke. That landing was really nice. I know in some of the other sims, and I'm sure it'll come out for this one soon, there's a program that rates your landing, and I think I'm gonna do that because that one was really nice and smooth. So that line there, if you were flying ILS, which is instrument rating, then that would be your hold short line. You would stop there. That way the general traffic can come up and still get on. ILS is essentially you use all your gauges instead of visually looking. I mean, you still look out, but also then ATC also gives you instructions on when to turn, where to be, how high to fly, and you follow those instructions. Alright, let's make sure nobody's going to land on top of us. Okay, we're good. He already gave us clearance to go across. So, you can follow us there. We are going across to Bravo 8. Shut that down a little bit. Then from Bravo 8, we're going on Bravo, which is just here. We're going all the way down to T. Before I get too far, there's Bravo 8, Bravo, go down there. Okay. Sure, we're doing it right this time. There's a website you can go to, and it's airnav.com, and you can type in the ICAO of the airport, which is for here is KPDX, and click on the charts. You scroll through, it gives you all the like the comm radios to contact everybody and to be able to call the weather, and but it also gives you the charts for the runway. Hey, look, I just said BB on it, or B8. Okay, no, that was B8. That's B. Okay, so we're looking for T. Wow, that doesn't look like a small gate. That's there. T is gonna go up. So, right? Anyway, on the AirNav site, on my other monitor, I have it pulled up to where I can see the other all the runway taxi names and everything that it doesn't show on the VFR map that you're seeing. But if you look on the ground, that's A11. We're going for A6, and this is taxiway T, so we are good there. 8, 7, and in theory, that should be A6. There we go. Look at that. A6. A little slower here. And now, normally these would be reserved for big planes like that. But because it's a sim, we get to enjoy what it's like to actually fly into PDX. Hey, look, there is a guy there. Okay, so that guy is telling me, kind of worried about my wing, but he's telling me to go this way. I want to hit the truck. I'm pretty sure our wing is in that truck. Alright. That's our ground crew for today. Make sure that anytime you fly, and you can, say thank you to those guys. They stand out there in any weather and direct the planes on exactly where to park. We are going to shut down our radio communications, because you always do that before you turn off your plane. Go ahead and shut down our lights. No, not the beacon. We're going to go here. Plane's going to shut down. There we go. Beacon light can go off now. batteries. Fuel the fuel. Alright. And there you go. Our guy has moved on to his next job. He runs to the next plane. Alright, everybody. That's about what we have for today. I wanted to throw this video out there for the viewer that asked to see a flight. If you want to see a flight really anywhere in the world, we could probably make that happen as long as I can do it in a smaller plane. I am not I'm definitely not qualified to even fly the jumbo jets in the sim. Hasn't worked out. Tried a few times. Maybe we'll do it just for fun sometime, but yeah, it doesn't have to be in Oregon. It can literally be anywhere. Just throw it in the comments of where you want me to go, and I will try to do a video. I'm excited. Get to pick up the plane tomorrow, and then probably next week or so the sim will be down for a while because it's going to take a while to take everything out and put it into the plane. But yeah, super exciting times, and I'm going to do a review and show how to do the mod on the SciTech yoke that I'm using. So watch for that video coming out soon. Have a good day and land safely.